Hey guys, Jurassic here with a quick patch 10.8 rundown from an AD carrier's perspective. If you guys don't know who I am or you are new to my YouTube channel, I'm an ADC main that have been playing the role for almost 5 years now. I've been Challenger for the past 3 years. I've also played competitively for about 2 to 3 years, so I'm played in a couple of pro teams here and there. I wanted to give you guys a quick rundown on my thoughts on the buffs and nerfs on the AD carrier champions in this patch. So we'll be focusing mainly on AD carry champions only. So hopefully this helps my fellow ADC mains out there in some way, shape, and form, and help you guys decide on who to play on the current patch. Looks like for buffs we have a buff on Ashe, Xayah, and Tristana, and there's a nerf on Aphelios, Kalista, Senna, and Varus. Right off the bat we have Aphelios. It looks like for Aphelios, he'll be getting his bonus armor penetration removed, and instead he'll be getting lethality added for his passive, and his Q ability will be scaling relatively the same in the max level, but will be a tad bit weaker in the early game. The first nerf here, the armor penetration percentage remove, I think what it does is it actually makes Aphelios's damage against bruisers and tanks a lot weaker. I think it makes it harder for him to deal with people that stack armor normally. So I think that is a pretty good nerf because Aphelios was just dealing too much damage to everyone. Next we have the Q nerf. I think what this does with the lower damage in the early level, with the AD ratio being a lot lower in the early level, I think what it does is it makes Aphelios' early game a tad bit weaker. But I think what makes Aphelios a really good champion is not really like, yeah, like his damage is a lot, but I think what makes him super good right now is his versatility as an AD carry. He just offers everything you need as an AD carry. For example, like you can be like the hard engage for your team with your cannon and R, or you can also take objectives super fast when you have your turrets. He just offers a lot as an AD carry champion, and I don't think, um, even though these are nerfs, I don't think it's going to change its priority in any way. I think. Next we have Ashe here. Ashe is someone that actually has not been seeing a lot lately. It looks like we're getting bonus attack speed increase on her Q. We're going from 20, 25, 30, 35 to 40% to 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60%. I think what this buff does for Ashe is that it makes her mid to late game a lot stronger. When you play Ashe, you don't really max Q until after you max your W. So with this buff, I think what it does is it makes your mid to late game a lot stronger, especially since as Ashe you want to be playing team fights front to back. I think it makes it easier for you to deal with the front line, because you do a lot more damage. So I think overall this will help a lot of people that play Ashe, and I think the damage increase is pretty good again for her mid to late game. Alright, next we have Kalista. Someone that is actually, seeing a lot of play lately. It looks like we're getting base armor reduced and slow decreased on her E. Your armor is going from 23 to 21. I don't think this is that big of a nerf, to be honest. I don't think this is a big deal. E rend, your slow percentage is going from 25, 30, 35, 40, 45% to 10, 18, 26, 34, 42%. In terms of the slow decrease, I think this is actually relatively significant. Because as Kalista, you want to use your slow to set up ganks, set up your, support, so they can like hit the enemy champion. Like you would slow them with your E reset. And then, if you have a Leona support, then it'll be a lot easier to engage on them because they'll be slowed, right? So I think what this nerf actually does is it makes her early laning phase a tad bit easier to deal with. But I think Kalista's still going to be the same, champion she was before. I think what makes her strong is her kit and her R, because her R gives her the ability to set up dives, set up ganks easily, set up engages, and I think since that is not changed, I think she's still going to be the same, strong champion she is today. And there's not really a nerf when it comes to her mid game, where I think she's the strongest. So yeah, have Senna. Senna's someone that people play in the AD carry or support role. It looks like she's going to get a decrease on her passive, from going from 25% to 22%. I think even though this is a nerf, I honestly don't think this does anything to Senna. I think what makes Senna so strong and is her laning phase, and I feel like you get your passive off your Q and auto attack anyways in lane, like when you're harassed. So I actually don't think this does too much. I think she's still going to be the same champion she was before. She's still going to be able to, heal like your top laner from across the map, and I think she's still going to scale the same way. Next we have Tristana. I think this is actually one of the bigger buffs. Tristana is someone that used to be someone that a lot of people played, but she kind of fell off the meta. I think with this E bonus damage ratio increase going from 50, 70, 90, 110 to 130%, and being buffed to 50, 75, 100, 125, 150%, this is going to make her mid game a lot better. I think where Tristana struggled in was early, and then she's super good once you get a couple levels, and then she falls off again in the mid game. I think what this buff does is it helps her get through mid game and helps her like do a lot of damage all throughout the game. So I think this is actually a pretty good buff. I think you're gonna see a lot more people play Tristana, and from personal experience, I actually did play her after the patch. I think she is super strong, and I think she's going to be a champion that everyone needs to watch out for. Alright, we have our next champion, Varus. Personally, I'm actually a big Varus player, so I actually don't think this nerf does anything. You can play him as a tank killer, as on hit. So I think he's just a super good champion right now. And it looks like the only thing they're nerfing is his R cooldown, and I honestly don't think this does anything. You're going from 110, 90 to 70 to 130, 170. So you're waiting 20 more seconds level 1 and then 10 more seconds level 2 for your R, which I think doesn't do anything, because usually in those early games you usually want to use your R to set up ganks, set up an objective, and usually in those windows, like, you can wait an extra 20 to 10 seconds. So I don't think this does anything, and at max level the cooldown is still the same. I think Varus is still going to be up there when it comes to being the best AD carries to pick right now. Last but not the least at all, we have Xayah. Xayah is someone that used to be picked a shit ton, but she actually fell off quite a bit in the meta. I think with the buff here, where you are getting more damage with her E blade collar, additional feather hit damage, you're going from 10% to 5% less damage per feather. So what this does is that Xayah is someone that, how you want to play her is you want to set up your feather to where you can hit multiple targets at once. This buff is actually pretty good for Xayah players. I think this will help her deal a lot more damage later on, especially in those big team fight moments. I think this is actually a pretty good buff, and this will make Xayah someone that people can start picking again. Overall, my thoughts on the patch: I think this is a good patch for us AD carry mains. I think the nerfs, aside from Aphelios, is not that significant. I think the only significant nerf is on Aphelios. I think the Kalista, Senna, Varus nerf isn't really going to do too much. And the buffs on Ashe, Xayah, and Tristana is super good. I think Tristana is going to be a champion that a lot of people are going to be picking in this current patch. So yeah, watch out for a lot of Tristana players. If you were to ask me, I think the best AD carries right now in this patch is going to be Varus, Tristana, MF. I think fasting Senna is still going to be good. And then below that you have Kalista, Ashe, Xayah, and everyone else. Everyone else is kind of like situational right now. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick patch 10.8 rundown, and I'll see you guys on the next video. If you guys have any thoughts on the patch that you would like to share, comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll be doing more of these in the future. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.